Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Vivi Tsoukalas and I am the Program Support Officer for Academic Upgrading. Thank you for joining our session this morning. I'm also going to introduce Marlon Ramjeet Samad. She is the Student Advisor for the Academic Upgrading Program. So Marlon, if you just want to say a quick hi.
Oh, hi everyone, and thank you for joining this live session today.
Okay, so just a few things that I'd like to mention before we get started. We are going to be doing a short presentation, so Marlon will be presenting for about 10 to 15 minutes, and that should answer most of the questions that you have about the academic upgrading program. If it doesn't, please feel free to ask questions in the live event Q&A, and I'll be responding to them as we go on. And if you have any other questions that you didn't ask during the session, or you would prefer to ask them at the end, that's fine too, because we'll have about 10 to 15 minutes at the end to also answer and respond to any questions at that time. If during the session we ask that anyone who's participating doesn't have their video on unless they are speaking, so I'm going to mute everyone during the actual presentation, but at the end, if you have a question that you'd like to ask, you can unmute yourself to speak or type it in the Q&A and we will respond to it. Okay, anything to add, Marlon, before you get started?
Yes, so today there's several live sessions happening. I know you've tuned in here to the academic upgrading session. So if at some point you need to go out to listen to another session, for example, if you need information about financial aid or registrar's office or some of the support services, please feel free to check on the other live sessions as well.
Okay, great. So Marlon, feel free to start presenting.
Okay. Thank you, Vivi. Vivi, can you see my presentation? Vivi, can you see my screen?
No, not yet.
Can you ask Lauren to take it off control?
I think you should just be able to take over.
No, it's saying I don't have control.
I can put it up on mine and then just tell me when to flip the...
Can you try?
Yeah.
Because it's not allowing me here to share at all. It's saying...
Let me just open it up. Okay.
In just a few minutes, everyone, just bear with us. We're just having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Okay, Marlon, you should have control of it now.
Okay, just F5.
Yeah.
No, you still have control, Vivi.
Okay, just start presenting and I'll change the slides as needed.
Yeah. So thank you for your interest in the academic upgrading program at Humber. Today in this presentation, I'll share some more information about the program with everyone. So academic upgrading is commonly referred to as AU, and it's a tuition-free, non-post-secondary program offering some high school equivalent courses to prepare students for entrance into college programs. AU is funded by Employment Ontario in collaboration with the Ministry of Labor, Training, and Skills Development. Academic upgrading will be running off a summer semester, and that semester gets started on May 19th. And I'll tell you more about joining the program as we go along in this presentation. I'm sure that the next question that you must be asking yourself is, am I eligible to join this program? So to be eligible, a prospective student must be 19 years or older by the first day of class, be a resident of Ontario and show proof of address. Prospective students must be a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or a protected person. And if you are a protected person, you need to provide to us a decision document. And in addition, all students must show proof of status by providing the necessary government-issued ID. To participate in this program, we ask that you be fluent in English language, that is to be competent in reading, writing, speaking, and listening, as this program is delivered in English. For students that do have an ESL background, we ask that you be at the CLB level 7 to 8 or IELTS level 6 to 8 before joining this program in order to be successful. In addition, all prospective students must take computerized entrance assessments in English, math, and digital literacy to determine placement into the different levels of academic upgrading courses. The academic upgrading program at Humber has 3 start dates, January, May, and September. So this semester referred to as our summer semester is upcoming, and that will get started on May 19th. We're currently doing testing for students to come into that semester. Our mandatory entrance assessments are usually held about 6 to 8 weeks prior to the program. We've already started that and we're continuing those assessments. This gives us enough time to plan for you joining our program. Classes are usually scheduled Mondays to Fridays from 8:55 a.m. to about 3:15 p.m. And as I mentioned earlier, the summer semester will be delivered online and we will follow a similar timetable format. Online means that you will not be coming to school, to Humber College for classes, but you will be going online and we will give you all of that information once you join the program as to how to connect with us on that mode. Depending on the student's goal path, individualized timetables are usually prepared for all students. It is our expectation that you attend and participate in all the class activities whilst you're in this program, that you commit to about 80% attendance, and we also have throughout the program mini quizzes that are administered as a ministry requirement, and this is referred to as milestones. The duration of the program is usually about 1 to 3 semesters. Each semester is usually 14 weeks long. It's 7 weeks of class. 1 week referred to as a reading week, and then an additional 7 weeks of class to complete 1 semester. I'd like to talk more about the next slide. And in this program, we have 11 courses being offered in the academic upgrading program. There are 2 levels of courses. The first, referred to as the pre-ACE level courses, are highlighted in the pink boxes, or there also are what we refer to as our lower level courses, and we have the ACE courses referred to as higher level course and shown in the blue box. There is only one course that we offer that do not have a lower level, and that's the ACE Skills for Success. Each student is placed into the appropriate level courses depending on the scores that they attain from their entrance assessment. So we encourage you that if you apply to this program and you're taking the entrance assessment, it is our expectation that you're trying your best. You're trying your best to make sure that you score the highest grade. I'd like to share with you an example. Let's say, for example, a student does the test and does very well in English, but not so well in math. Then that student will be placed in an ACE English class, but a pre-ACE math course, all in the same semester. So a student would be able to do 2 levels at the same time. Referring to our next slide, we can share that 4 of our 6 ACE level courses are equivalent to high school or the Ontario high school credits. These course credits can be used towards or as an equivalent to the high school credit and helps you, the prospective student, to gain entrance into the college in Ontario. The 4 courses with grade 11 or 12 high school equivalencies are ACE Communications, equivalent to grade 12 English, ENG 4C, ACE Math, equivalent to grade 12 Math, MAP 4C, and ACE Biology, equivalent to grade 11 Biology, SB13C, and ACE Chemistry, equivalent to grade 12 Chemistry, SCH4C. The number of courses that a student takes and the time frame to complete the program depends on the student's goal path, their individual learning styles, learning needs and abilities. However, the recommended time frame is 1 to 3 semesters. Now, if, for example, you're looking at this program and you're missing entrance requirement to getting into academic upgrade, into a college program, then the academic upgrading is the right fit for you, providing that you do meet the eligibility criteria that we outlined before. If you've joined this presentation a little bit late and have missed that, it will be on our website, and you're going to also have the link to this presentation, and you'll be able to learn a little bit more. Reference in the next slide, which speaks to the completion of the program. Successful completion of the program means that a student has achieved a goal that they have set for themselves and can range from completing 1 course to successfully completing all 11 courses offered in the program. But many of you might not just want to complete 1 course or 2 courses. Your goal might be to graduate and to have some sort of certification from this program. And therefore, I'd like to speak to that for a minute. The minimum requirement for completion is the successful completion of 4 ACE level courses, including math and English, and any other 2 ACE courses with an overall average of 60% or more. If you have attained a 60% in 4 ACE courses, then you will attain the Certificate of Completion, referred to as CC. Additionally, students can also earn the Academic and Career Entrance Certificate if they successfully complete their 4 ACE courses, including math and English, and any 2, but the criteria is to gain 70% or higher in each of these 4 courses. You might be wondering, is this a tall order? Can I achieve this? And yes, most of the students who successfully complete academic upgrading do leave our program with both certificates. It is our goal, it's our responsibility, it's the way we work in the academic upgrading to encourage you and to guide you along to achieving these goals. Looking at the next slide, we're going to talk a little bit about the entrance assessment, and as I mentioned, this is a mandatory requirement for joining the program. All of our assessments are computerized and the formats may vary. With this, we are asking you that if you plan to join us for the upcoming summer semester, one of the requirements is that you must have a computer and internet, because that's what we're going to be relying on heavily to deliver this program online, starting with registration and then the computerized assessments to the program delivery. So again, a computer and internet is very important if you are going to join us for the summer semester, which starts May 19th. The assessment helps us to place students into the appropriate level courses, and also we encourage you to try your best and attempt all the questions in the assessment so that you can be placed at the very correct level. If you are placed in a pre-ACE level, then you must complete that level at a 60% or higher to move to the ACE level. On the next slide, we share with you that based on these grades and what your goals are, we are going to create what is referred to as an individualized timetable to match your needs and just what you're looking for in this program. In addition, before you join the program, you must participate in a mandatory orientation, and this will be done via virtual orientation or online. In this time, we get you to complete ministry forms and documents because, as I mentioned earlier, this program is funded by the ministry, and so we have to comply with their regulations. And for you to get an understanding of how the program is delivered and what are our expectations. Now, on the next slide, we talk about our science courses. Many of the students who come to academic upgrading is interested in science, may not have had that requirement for getting into post-secondary. And so we encourage you that whilst you take our science program to try to do well, because it is competitive to gain an admissions into health science programs. The scores of your math and English assessment helps us to determine if you can take science and at what level. Again, I just want to emphasize that our expectation is that you attend every class, you complete all of the assignments, you participate in group projects, and you utilize college resources. Now, these resources could be available or would be available virtually for the summer semester. And also at the bottom of the screen, you'd see comply with all the college's policies and procedures. Although this is an upgrading course, we follow all of the college's policies and procedures. Students in the academic upgrading program benefit from all the on-campus support, and I'd like to mention services like a library, peer tutoring, math and writing support, and they all help you, the student, to engage in an active and positive learning environment whilst maintaining a healthy student life. Now, looking at the other slides, we are going to just spend a few more minutes just to talk about the assessments. As I mentioned, there are 3 assessments. There is the math, the English, and the digital literacy assessment. When you register with the academic upgrading program by filling out a registration form on our website, you will be given a student number, and that is needed to do your assessment. So for the math assessment, topics include fractions, decimals, percentages, ratio, measurement, math operations, some basic algebra, and money type questions or calculations. So if you are preparing to write one of our assessment, we ask that you do some revision or do some read up on these topics. For the English assessment, a single essay topic will be provided to you, and you're asked to write 300 to 600 words on a given topic. And for the digital assessment, you'll be given 25 questions to complete in about 30 minutes. Now, I know that this has been a very quick presentation and I've covered a lot, but if you have additional questions about the academic upgrading program, please feel free to email us at academicupgrading@humber.ca. There is on your screen a link that you can find our registration form. If you connect with us by email or through the registration form, We will reach out to you and respond to all of your questions and to provide additional information. So thank you for your time. We hope that you've learned more about our program. We look forward to having you join us in the upcoming semester. And this is where I'll take a break from the presentation and allow for questions. You can send us your questions in the Q&A and we'll try to respond to them. If time doesn't permit, we'll also try to respond to you by email. Thank you.
Hi, Marlon. This is just Phoebe. There are a few questions that I'm not too sure with. So you said the courses start in May, on May 19th, correct?
So the course starts May 19th and ends in August the 14th.
And when is the registration deadline for summer?
So we are continuously taking in students. The reason for that is we're trying to give everyone an equal opportunity considering what's happening, and we've had some delays in doing our assessments. So I think about May 1st would be tentatively our cutoff dates for our assessments. So as long as you can get a registration form completed into us before the 1st, we should be able to accommodate you.
Okay. And then there was another question. If they've already taken the test in YTP, do they need to take the assessment again?
No, so your YTP scores, and that's the Youth Transition Program. So those of you who are listening from that program, no, you do not have to take the test again. We're going to use your scores of your last test that you've done to determine which courses you take in academic upgrading.
Are there any other questions? Marlon, we have another question here.
Sure.
Will there be an overview of what the assessment will consist of online?
So we can make some information. Yes, there will be, but I can go through quickly and just say that the math assessment, I'm just going to give you the topics. Now we tell you all of this once you connect with us, all of this information is shared directly with you via email. So the topics include fractions, decimals, percentages, ratios, measurement, math operations, basic algebra, and money type questions or calculations. For the English assessment, a single essay will be provided to you. You have to write 300 to 600 words. And the digital literacy will be in the form of a survey. You're given 25 questions, and it's really us trying to find out from you what's your comfort level using the computer. So it should be simple, but once you register with us, we send you all of this information one-to-one in an email, and feel free to ask us any question at that point.
Okay. Will the September semester be online?
Yes, so at this time, we're not sure. We only are aware of what's happening for the summer semester. The college, we work with the college schedule. So if you look at humber.ca, whatever is on the website and all the updates will be how the academic upgrading program runs. We are able to do both in-class and online versions. So we have to wait until closer to September to make that decision.
Would I need to, no, okay. Do I need to take all courses? No.
No, so as I mentioned to you, you can take, if your goal is to take one course, that's okay with us. We just want to make sure that whatever your goal is, you're trying to achieve. So if it's just a single course that you need to upgrade in, then just take the one course, and that at the end of that, it marks your end in the academic upgrading program.
Okay. Anyone who is in YTP, do they need to fill in more forms?
So students who are in the YTP program, and if you've indicated to me that you are interested in the program, you will be receiving shortly a link to complete what is referred to as the client profile forms. And so we will be sending you that in the new week. So all of the YTP students, you will be receiving what is referred to as the client profile form in an email. That is what you fill and send back to us.
Okay, and if anyone is receiving EI, will they still qualify for EI if they take academic upgrading?
So that's a question that we usually do not answer, and we ask you to let EI know that you will be attending academic upgrading. If you'd like to, you need their permission before you take our program. So we are willing to provide to you any documentations to say that you are a student in the program, but we do not give the permission. The permission comes from EI. You must indicate to them that you are coming to academic upgrading.
Great. So there's a student here asking, they already did their placement or assessment tests. They don't need to do it again, but how do they choose or how do they find out about their courses? Marlon, you'll contact them directly, correct?
Correct. And can I just ask for that particular student that you're referring to or you're referencing, is it from the YTP program?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It doesn't say. They just said, I already did my test, so there's no need to do it again. I guess there is a time limit though. So if they did it within the last.
Yes. So if you've done, I'm just going to speak to that for a moment. If you've done a placement test at Humber College for a program and you've not met the requirements for going into that program and they've said to you need to upgrade, we will use the scores of your placement tests and would not retest you to getting into academic upgrading, providing that the scores are within 1 year from the date that you've done them.
If students are not required to complete the science courses, correct?
No, if you're looking towards graduation, it's math and English and any two. And for those reasons, if you're looking to graduate and do not want to take science, your best choices are the skills for success and the computer course in addition to math and English.
Okay, there's a few more questions. I only need bio and chemistry. Do I still need to take math and English?
So no, if you only need biology and chemistry, we're willing to have you in the program just to do biology and chemistry. However, if you're looking towards graduating from this program and receiving some sort of certification, then you have to take the math and English. Now, when you complete the biology and chemistry with us, you are going to get a transcript, and your transcript will reflect the grades, and that could be used at any college in Ontario to be accepted.
Okay, sorry, there's still some more.
So I think we have about 2 minutes more, and I'll try to answer as many questions, but if there's anything that we cannot get to, I ask you to please write academicupgrading@humber.ca, and we will try to respond to your questions latest Monday at about noon. Remember, go to academicupgrading@humber.ca, and you'll also be able to register on our website, filling out our registration form. We'll connect with you as well through that.
Okay, just a couple more, Marlon, if we have a chance. Students, if they want to take AU but they're not confident in English, do they need to take EAP prior to AU?
Not necessarily. We found that students who have taken EAP courses or any English upgrading courses does help. So for example, if you've gone to any of the language institutes or any of the language training or any ESL training, it could potentially help. The way we best determine this is after you've taken our assessments and we look at your score, we look at the way you write, we could potentially still take you into our lower level and work with you as a student and help you to get to achieving your goals. So not necessarily that you must take EAP, I would say apply to our program first, take our assessments, and based on the feedback we provide to you after that assessment, that will help to determine whether EAP should be your next step.
And when will students get their timetable?
So we're hoping that in the second week of May, we'll be able to create individualized timetable for every student that's joining our program.
Okay, so I'm going to end the AU presentation now, and TESL is going to start.
Thanks, Lauren. Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. My name is Irene Cosmas, and I am the program coordinator for the English Language Center, also the TESL program. I will be sharing with you a short presentation shortly. I also have with me Stephen Allen, who is the director of the English Language Center. He will be moderating the questions for you. So if you have any questions as I'm going through the presentation, you can ask them in the Q&A. And there will also be some time at the end of my presentation for you to ask those questions where I can respond to them as well. Okay, so I will share my screen here in a second. Lauren, is there a reason why my slides aren't showing up?
I can see them on my end.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I will start with the presentation.
Just F5 your screen.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
1 second, here we go. Okay, everything's good, you can see?
Looks good.
All right, here we go. So welcome to the information session on teaching English as a second language, our TESL program. The TESL program at Humber is actually an Ontario graduate certificate program. So this is a credential you receive with this TESL program. I'm going to give you an overview of the program. So our program, the schedule runs from September to April. It's a full-time program, 2 semesters. It is generally scheduled 2.5 days on campus. Normally the schedule is on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We have classes from about 9 o'clock until 3:15 with a break for lunch. And on Thursday mornings as well from about 9 o'clock to 11:30. And these classes take place on campus. In terms of the coursework, there are 5 courses. 4 of those courses are face-to-face, and like I said previously here, those classes happen on campus during the 2.5 days. And 1 of the courses every semester is online. In the next slide, I'll go over those courses in more detail. In addition to the coursework, we have an extensive practicum experience. This includes observation hours and practice teaching hours, and this is on and off campus. We have partner organizations that I'll also explain in some later slides. The TESL program leads to professional certifications. Most notably, it's the TESL Ontario professional designation, the OCELT. This is your Ontario Certified English Language Teacher accreditation, and also TESL Canada Standard 2. These are the certifications that you need in order to get a job teaching ESL. The TESL courses consist of, the first 4 courses here are the courses that run face-to-face over the 2 semesters. So you have methodology, intro to language, pedagogical grammar, and the ESL classroom. So this runs from September until April. So there's a part 1 and a part 2. In your methodology course, you will learn things like lesson planning. You will learn things like how to teach the skills, listening, speaking, reading, writing. In our Intro to Language course, this is your foundational linguistic course where you will learn things about linguistics, vocabulary, pronunciation, so the language systems and how they work. In the pedagogical grammar course, you will learn how to teach grammar, especially ESL grammar, the type of grammar that ESL students will need. And in the ESL classroom, you will learn things on curriculum, materials, resources, classroom management, those types of things. So I mentioned in the previous slide that each semester, in addition to the face-to-face classes, you also take one online course. In semester 1, that online course is called the Adult ESL Learner. In this course, you will learn about adult language learning theories, second language acquisition theories, things like that. And in the second semester, the online course is called Teaching with Technology. And in this course, you will learn about teaching online, different digital tools in order to teach English, which is obviously in this time a very, very important skill. So in addition to all of those TESL courses, like I mentioned, there is the practicum experience, and I'll go over the practicum experience, the observation and practice teaching hours. In order to be accredited by TESL Ontario, you need to have at least 30 hours of observation and 20 hours of practice teaching, and this is something that we have within our program that is fully arranged and supervised for you within our program. So to go into a little bit more detail about the practicum, where you will do your practicum, I mentioned that I'm the program coordinator for the English Language Center. Within the English Language Center, we have a program called English for Academic Purposes. This is a pathway program for students who are improving their language skills in order to go into a main academic program. So our TESL students get to do observation hours within our English for Academic Purposes program. There are 8 levels in this program, so students will get to see, TESL students will get to see multi-leveled integrated skills classes from levels 1 to 8. There's also a language lab. So our TESL students also get an orientation to the language lab and get to assist in the language lab and work closely with our EAP students, our English for Academic Purposes students, so that they gain some more experience in this type of ESL setting. The other practicum sites are through our community organizations in LINK and ESL. So we have extensive partnerships with various organizations, Dufferin Peel Catholic School Board, Thomas Merton Center, Afghan Women's Organization, Center of English Studies are just a few of the partners that we have where our TESL students do their observation and practice teaching. Like I mentioned earlier, our practicum is fully arranged and supervised for you. We have support from a placement advisor, faculty advisors, and your LINK mentor. So they will guide you through what you need in order to complete the practicum. The practice teaching component generally happens later in the semester in April, towards the end of the program, and our TESL students this is where our TESL students get to show their skills and practice their skills on how to teach the language skills, vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, or integrate those skills together. Also really exciting, we have a new partnership with a university in Taiwan where our students can experience a global practicum. So in addition to our local partners, we have an international partner in Taiwan, like I mentioned, and last year was the first year that we were able to send 3 students to Taiwan to complete a practicum and internship experience. So they get to go for 3 months. They complete their practicum hours. So like I said, the 20 hours of practice teaching, they get to complete there. And they get to stay and continue and work at the university and continue to build their skills in teaching English abroad. So that's another great experience for our TESL students. TESL is a very exciting opportunity for people to look at different kinds of careers. Within our TESL program, we present a number of different professional workshops and career events. One of our events at the very end of the program is a career day where we invite a number of different partners and employers who are looking to hire so that our students can begin those networking opportunities. Within the program, we have a number of professional workshops on resume and interview skills and things like that so that our TESL students can prepare for landing that first job. Many of our students actually get hired within the English Language Center. In the summer, we have a summer English language program, and we generally hire a few TESL graduates to teach in that summer language program. A number of our graduates also get jobs in our Humber Writing Center doing tutoring. There are jobs within our EAP program. Some of our graduates go on to teach in our English department through our TESL and WRIT courses, so English to speakers of other languages, and our writing courses in the English department. It's also true to say that many of our graduates land jobs through their placements in their Lincoln ESL sites. So it's a wonderful opportunity for our students to start their networking. We have a volunteer experience through our English club in the English Language Center. We pair our TESL students up to run our EAP English club, and this counts towards the CCR, which is the co-curricular record. And students get to put that onto their transcripts. And we always encourage our students to attend the various conferences like TESL Ontario, TESL Toronto, for example, again, to keep that professional development aspect of teaching going. TESL can also lead to future study. We have a partnership with Niagara University, and this is a pathway for Humber grads to complete a master's program in 1 year. So the agreement is to the completion of a master's degree in TESL. The 1 year TESL program at Humber counts towards the first year there, and then TESL students do the second year at Niagara University. So I'm at the end of my presentation. I'm just going to look back to see now if there are any questions. Let's see.
There's one question there, Irene.
Yes.
Which is, Anonymous asks, I'm not sure when we'll be taking the last student in the program. I think they're referring to TESL, so they're asking about what's the deadline for the admissions for the fall.
Yeah, and at this point, the program is still open. We keep our admissions open until the program is full. I generally tell students to apply as early as possible if they want to get in for September. I believe it is still open, so they still have some time, but the earlier the better.
There's two other additional questions then about admissions as well. One of them is from Othnia, applying, so perhaps can you hear me okay, Irene?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so Othniel is connecting with the international admission. So Othniel, I would just say it takes longer than normal to get a response, but keep connecting with them. So you could also connect directly with Irene if you want to put your email in there, Irene.
Yes.
And we can help connect with you.
Is it possible to show my slide here with my email information? Hold on, let me see if I can share.
And so you're trying to apply for the TESL program, Othniel. So we'll help you. If you connect with Irene directly by email, we'll follow up with the international department for you and check on your application status. And you can also ask us, Irene, any questions about that. And Zainab, you're asking about applying for the September 2020 intake. Irene, do you want to answer that question for Zainab?
Yes, so she can apply for the September 2020 intake. It's still open. Depending if she's an international or domestic student, the process is a little bit different. International students have to apply through our international center, and domestic students apply through Ontario colleges. The IELTS, I'm just reading Zainab's question. I have the IELTS general results. Unfortunately, IELTS general is not valid. You need to do IELTS academic. Or at this time we have, you can also do Duolingo at this time just for admission purposes, although TESL Ontario doesn't recognize Duolingo for accreditation. You could do Duolingo just for the admission part. I'm reading Othanel's message here. I've tried various times to apply for the program, but I've been having challenges with my application fee. Othanel, I believe you're an international student. I think I've connected with you before. Maybe the best thing to do is send me an email and I can follow up with the international office to see what's happening with your application fee. Anna has a question. Does TESL allow you to teach English in non-native English speaking countries? Yes, TESL does allow you to teach English anywhere in the world. TESL Ontario, OCELT, and TESL Canada Standard 2. So with our program, you can get both accreditations and you can teach English pretty much anywhere. Dylan has a question here. Oh, Dylan. Well, I look forward to meeting you in September too. I'm glad you learned many new things through the presentation. Thank you.
Anonymous Irene asked IELTS Indicator. It's a good question. IELTS Indicator is a new version that's online of the IELTS exam that they've set up to run every week. And it's like a mini version of the IELTS exam that students can take at the moment. However, Humber are looking into this now to check whether it will be, we will use it as an admissions to check your English language proficiency. Probably later next week or the week after, Humber will, the international admissions will announce if they're accepting the IELTS indicator test. We're looking into it now. It only just got released last week. The first test is April the 26th. So keep a lookout for that on the Humber International website and under the English language policy, English language proficiency policy.
Okay, good to know. Does anybody have any other questions?
I'm going to have a look again in the new. Some I'm just answering directly.
Do we apply in this course to improve my English language? This course is not necessarily, Anonymous asked this question, to improve your English language. It's more for people who want to teach English language. If you need to improve your English language first, I would say taking an English language program like English for Academic Purposes, where the focus is on improving language skills, and then taking the TESL program. Do you offer full-time or part-time option as well? Our program, like I mentioned, the TESL program, the graduate certificate program is a full-time program. Humber does offer a part-time option. It's called the TESL program. It leads to TESL Canada Standard 1 certification. So students who are interested in that can look into the part-time option. I do let students know about that. And the only caution there is if you're looking for a job in LINC or any sort of government-funded, federally funded ESL program, the part-time option is not enough in order to get a job in that field. So you might then want to stick with the full-time option. Anonymous has a question. Can you take applicant for TESL with no English proficiency test so they can provide throughout study semester under conditions, please? Unfortunately not. We do require an English proficiency test. This is, again, part of TESL Ontario's requirements, and we do follow that. So unfortunately, no, we do need a proficiency test, an English proficiency test. Zainab, I wanted to further ask if a student has to apply for TESL Ontario and TESL Canada certification on their own, or do we get these two on the completion of the course? That's a very good question, Zainab. Yes, the TESL Canada and the TESL Ontario certification is something that is completed by the student on their own at the end of the program. Basically, you fill out an application and you apply for the certification through them. You won't have any problems with that. It's basically just paying a membership and an accreditation fee. But that is something that's done at the end of the program. We do provide you with guidance in the course. We often have Reza from TESL Ontario who comes and does a session with our students to explain the application process and answer those types of questions, but it's not very difficult. It's, like I said, it's mainly providing your Humber TESL certificate that you have finished the program and paying the membership and accreditation fee. And then, of course, keeping up with your professional development to keep your accreditation going. Yes, considering the current pandemic, are you sure the program will commence in September? If yes, will it be face-to-face or online? Yes, Othanel. Our program will commence in September. What we don't know yet for sure is whether it will continue to be face-to-face, which is how we normally deliver the program, or whether or not we're going to move everything online. We are making plans, if we do need to move everything online, we will be working to make those plans now so that we are ready for that first semester in September. So either way, we will be running and commencing the program in September. We just don't know yet. It's really a Humber Central decision to know whether or not we will be delivering it face-to-face or online. Anonymous asks, can we still apply until July for TESL Ontario? I think you're asking about the TESL Ontario accreditation, or are you, I'm not sure. Can we still apply until July? I mean, our program is still open. Like I said earlier, it's important to get your application in as early as possible because the seats do fill up in the summer. So yes, you can still apply. The program is still open.
There's no more questions right now, but we'll stay online for a moment. but I would suggest that if you do have specific questions after we finish the presentation in a few minutes, email Irene directly, and her email is on the screen, right? And we'll follow up with you individually as well.
Absolutely. I always tell students that I'm also a graduate of the program. So, you know, for me, I always tell my personal journey. For me, it was an interesting journey. You know, I kind of got into teaching ESL, not really sure what I was going to do. I thought I would tutor a little bit on the side and see what would happen. And I guess now 17 years, I'm still teaching ESL, working at Humber. So it's been a great transformative journey for me.
And I think I'll add to that. Although I didn't take this TESL program, I took my TESL in 1995, and I'm still working in the field now. So, and I've worked in multiple countries, like 9 different countries around the world now. So it's a program that can open up a lot of doors to work internationally, as well as obviously in Canada. So it's a lot of opportunities out there for those who are interested in those kind of things. And especially we support that with the international practicum opportunity that Irene talked about, that we currently have in Taiwan. There's another question here, Irene, I'll publish it.
Okay. So just to confirm that full-time classes take place at the Lakeshore campus. Yes, our program is based at the Lakeshore campus. So all of our classes take place there. Our offices are down there. I often get a question from students sometimes who are asking about working and taking this program at the same time. And I usually say yes, while it's possible. You know, I do caution that it is a full-time program, and there are certain weeks where, in addition to the classes, that there are practicum hours that need to be completed. So, you know, make sure, you know, and each student is different in that regard. Make sure, you know, that they can balance the courses along with whatever other requirements and personal responsibilities that they have. Especially in April, when the practice teaching portion of the program hits, it becomes a little more busy. So I usually tell students to kind of plan for that, for those 20 hours of practice teaching that get done over the 3-week period in April. I think we only have another minute left.
Yeah. There's Zainab maybe asking one more question. She's going to type it in a moment, I think.
Okay.
That might be the last one for now. Here it is. I'll publish it, Irene.
Okay, I missed the initial part of the presentation. So I joined when you were talking about 2 months of international work experience. May I ask you to elaborate on that one? Oh, I think you're talking about the our new global practicum option that we have. So in addition to the practicum experience that I talked about, where you can complete observation and practice teaching hours here locally in our, whether it's in our EAP program or through our community partners in Link and ESL. Last year was the first year we offered a global practicum opportunity. So we send 3 students to a university in Taiwan who get to complete their practicum hours in Taiwan, but also stay there for 3 months to do an internship component as well. So it's a really wonderful opportunity for someone who wants to teach abroad. Okay.
Thanks, Marlene, for presenting. We're
Thank
going
you so
to
much.
move on to PwC.
Perfect.
Megan, you're live.
Hi.
You're live. You can go ahead.
Great. How are you guys? Hello?
I can hear you. You're good to go.
Okay, great. Just a quick question, the live event Q&A. John, are you going to be publishing those? Any new questions that come up?
Yes, I will publish them for you.
Okay, great. And right now I still see all of the TESL feed. Is that just going to stay there for now, or?
Yep, that will stay there, and then PwC will take over.
Okay, do we have anyone in at the moment?
Yep, we have 19 attendees.
Oh, really? That's great. Okay, so I guess we're just waiting for, I'll do a quick intro, so I guess they can hear me now.
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Professional Writing and Communications Q&A session. So the way this is going to look today is essentially I'm hoping that you will send some questions my way, and I'll sort of fluidly, as best I can, answer your questions as they come through the live event Q&A feed. So that's sort of how we'll go about this today. We have about a half an hour. So it's quick, and just keep in mind that you'll have ample opportunity after this session today to follow up with me via email. So, you know, on this poster, you'll see right here, you can contact me at megan.strimas@humber.ca, and we can always set up a meeting like this, sort of one-to-one, or email each other, whatever works best for you, even a telephone conversation. So welcome, I'm excited to answer your questions. So I'll wait for some to come through. Don't be shy. John, are we seeing any questions come through?
We don't have any questions yet. Do you want to maybe give an overview of the program?
Sure.
And...
That's what I'll do then. Okay, great.
Perfect.
Yeah, no problem, everyone. So this is essentially a 3-semester program. So typically, those who come to this program are university grads who are very interested in pursuing careers in the communications field. So generally, if you are thinking about pursuing a program like this, you're someone who loves writing, loves storytelling, and really wants to get out there in the world and make a difference, for many organizations in the kinds of stories that you can tell and messaging that you can provide. So we tend to be a smaller style program. We take about 35 students a year. And the great thing about this is that smaller class size really allows us to spend a lot of time with our students. We have a really wonderful, dedicated group of faculty members that have been working with the PWC program for a few years now. And it's not just about what happens in the classroom with our program, it's also about the opportunities we provide outside of the classroom as well, in terms of networking events and so on and so forth. So the way it normally looks in this program is in the fall, a student would take 6 courses. And as it stands right now, our plan for the fall is a face-to-face style delivery. And what that means is the ideal is that we're in the classroom and you take 6 courses in that fall semester. The classes typically run on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and a student would take 2 classes per day. Generally, the time frame for that is between 10 and 6 p.m. each day. So generally what happens is say on a Tuesday, you would take a course, for a couple hours in the morning, starting at about 10, wrapping up maybe around 12:30. Then you would have a break, which is a great time to meet with and collaborate with your other colleagues who are in the PWC program. And then there would be an afternoon course as well. So in the fall, those 6 courses consist of an Intro to Writing Principles course, which I actually teach. This is a great foundational course where we really shift out of, sort of that academic style of writing that a lot of us are accustomed to, especially through our university courses. And we gear up and we start practicing plain language or plain style. So what that means is we're trying to pare down our writing so that we can reach the largest possible audience. We also do a lot of work in this particular course around grammar and punctuation and mechanics. So fine-tuning our writing skills so that we can really, be as polished writers as possible. In that class, we do things like briefing notes, and we even practice just, what it is to, send targeted email correspondence, how to reply to, colleagues both internally and externally at organizations. We do invitations and so forth. There's also in that first semester of study a Writing in the Digital Age program, and that is with one of my colleagues, Laura Berg. And in that program, what happens is the student learns all kinds of foundational skills and around social media management. So how do we, write and create great tweets? How do we analyze Google Analytics? How, things like SEO and whatnot. And the neat thing is that foundational digital writing course really allows the student to, practice all of those social media style skills, what it is to write in the digital space. And then in the second semester, and we'll get to the second semester in a few minutes, but just to let you know, all of those skills are then applied to group work where the students are working with actual live clients in the classroom. So that would be the first sort of 2 courses in the fall. Then we have a storytelling and narrative course. And this course is a really key course to everything that we do in the comms or communications industry, because so much of what we do revolves around telling great stories. We think in stories, and it really allows us to see that story is everywhere, and good story captures our audience's attention. So you'll learn all kinds of things like, what is a nut graph? You know, so what is the so what of a story? So many great skills that you'll be able to use, not just say in that course, but everywhere in your writing. And we have a writers and researchers course. So this is an important course too. They're all such important courses in this first semester, where you work with actually an investigative journalist from the Toronto Star, Brendan Kennedy, and Brendan will teach you all how to be, really accurate researchers in your field. He's also going to teach you how to interview people, how to collect information, and then put that into whatever communications piece you're drafting. We have on top of that course, we also do a professionalism skills course. And what that course does is it preps you for that internship, which comes after the winter semester. And what the professionalism skill does is it teaches you all kinds of soft skills. So how is it that I navigate the workplace? How do I find a way to, fit in and, flourish in an organization? The great thing about this course too is it's also a mix of hard skills. So in that course, you are learning as well, things like really great, word skills. So how to format and design in Microsoft Word, how to navigate and use Adobe InDesign. So, so thinking about design principles as well in that course. And then finally, the final course in that first semester is a course called The Writer's Identity. And people often ask, what does that mean, the writer's identity? In that course, what our students are largely learning is how is it that they can go about, if they decide to, navigate a really robust and healthy career as a freelance writer. And so you're learning sort of time management skills in that course. You're creating an online portfolio that will go live, where you can collect all of the great things that you write and create as you move along in the program that you can then show employers. And so it's basically like a course where you're designing your own public portfolio or website that you can then go back and show employers. You're also creating a LinkedIn page for yourself in that course and learning all the best practices around that and so forth. You create business cards, all kinds of great things. So that's the fall semester tends to be quite intense. You learn a lot. I sort of, think of it as kind of a boot camp for the individual who's passionate about pursuing a career in the communication sector. And the lovely thing is you're supported by a really warm community of writers who sort of will walk you through all of the ins and outs of those different courses. So that would be your first semester. Again, you're typically on campus 3 days a week, that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Many of our students do work part-time jobs while they are in the PwC program. Though, one thing to consider too is you do have to leave yourself time to work on projects outside of that classroom time. It's different for every student. Some students are able to really sort of move along and manage all of the work that comes with being a full-time student in a program like the PwC program and work. Others find that it's easier for them to just focus on, what is happening in the program. It's really, the kind of stuff that you have to decide for yourself. You know yourself best. And those are kinds of conversations too that you could have with me. I'm the program coordinator for the PwC, and one thing that I always try and do is guide students and mentor them as they move through the program and answer questions and act as sort of a kind of sounding board for particular avenues that come up as the student progresses through the program. So that's our first semester. Does anybody have any questions about that first semester before I sort of give you an overview of the second semester? Okay. So I'll keep going. I don't see any questions coming in. That's fine. I am talking a lot, so feel free to interject if you'd like. And again, that email address of mine is on the main page here, and be sure to follow up with me thereafter, and I'll answer all of your questions. I'm excited to make contact with all of you. So in our winter semester, again, we follow that 6-class model. So again, sort of typically what happens is the courses fall on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 2 classes per day. And we see a lot of continuation, of course, of what we've learned in the first semester applied to the various projects that we move into in the second semester. So in the winter, one course that you begin really digging into is an editing course. This is a great course in the sense that you learn how to edit other people's copy. And this means that you're doing, you're working in all stages of editing. So substantive, sort of, the ground up work at the beginnings of a project, copy editing, and proofreading. And you're learning things like different styles that are typically applied in the communications industry. So let's say you are interested in pursuing a field, say in public relations or anywhere in journalism. Something called Canadian press style is really important at that point. And you learn all about CP style and practice implementing CP style, Canadian press style, in that editing course. The great thing about an editing course too is when you are learning to correct other people's writing, you naturally become a better writer yourself, because you're learning all of these different skills that you have to really, you have to know the rules of grammar and punctuation inside and out in order to correct other people's work. So it's a great learning tool, this editing course. You move into a second writing principles course. Again, that's a course that I teach, and we have a lot of fun in that course. We do anything from speech writing to briefing notes. We also work on media kits. And one of the fun things that we're going to be doing for next year is with our media kits, we're going to be linking up with the digital writing advanced course in that second semester. And we'll be working with our live clients to create all kinds of content for them. We also have a strategic writing course in that second semester. And strategic writing, will help you a lot if you are interested in anything to do with corporate communications, government writing, any kind of, say, crisis management. So oftentimes, if there's, say, even right now, if we think about what's happening in the world, and we think about the fact that there's might be an outbreak of a virus in a particular nursing home, say, there would be a communications person that would manage everything that is spoken about and written about, in that scenario. And that's the kind of writing that one would learn in strategic writing, is how do we, minimize reputation damage and maximize and build on, showing the public that we can be a trusted body. Again, I mentioned that we have that advanced digital writing course, and what happens then is every students are grouped up usually in groups of 4, and they're assigned a client. So it could be someone who, generally these tend to be small business owners. And what happens is as the learners in the classroom are creating social media campaigns for these clients. So all of those skills that you learn in the first semester of your digital writing course, you're now applying through your work with the live clients in this course. And it's an excellent learning experience. You learn what it is to communicate with a client and, find out what it is that they are looking for. Is it that they're looking to build their brand? Is it that they're looking to, you know, just build their profile online? Is it that, you know, they're you know, a relatively new business and they're looking for help with web copy for a new website and whatnot? So really great experience there. And my course and this digital writing course, we partner together and work with live clients. It's a lot of fun. We also have a developing form and repurposing course. And what happens here in that particular course is students learn how to adapt different forms of writings into, you know, sort of different genres. So let's say you've written, you know, a brochure. You've created a brochure for a company, and now that company wants you to take the contents of that brochure, streamline it, and turn it into an infographic that they can display on their site, say. So this is a really handy course in that you're learning how to take different forms of writing that you've already created, repurpose it, and adapt it for different mediums. And in the winter semester, we also have a great project management course. So in project management, again, you're working with a live client. We tend to work with the Toronto International Festival of Authors. And what happens in that course is that TIFA, the Toronto International Festival of Authors, they lay out, you know, sort of a challenge for us. So this year's challenge was they wanted to up social media engagement and attendance in terms of a millennial-based audience. So they wanted for our students to figure out how it is that they could bring in a younger audience to their festival. And this is a great learning resource for the students in that you're again working with a live client, you're working in groups, you're creating a whole kind of campaign for the client. And then we have something called a pitch fair at the end of the semester where the client comes in and each group presents to the client. And I love this day. It's really, really fun. Everyone tends to be quite nervous. We all get dressed up and try and look our best. And it's really high energy day and a great day to present your ideas to the client and get their feedback and learn from that as well. So that's sort of our winter semester. You can tell that it's pretty action-packed and jam-packed and content-packed. But it's also a lot of fun. And one of the great things that I really see out of this program and something that I'm really proud of is the community that evolves in that student body. The individuals who come to this program leave the program with sort of lifelong friendships of other people who are also going out and working in the communications industry. And that's a really lovely thing to see. We have a networking event every year, usually in early winter. And, you know, I get to see students who have graduated from the program in the past who are now working in industry who are still whole friends with one another, and they come back to meet the new students. And it's a great opportunity for, you know, any of you who are interested in this program to have a chance to talk about some of the pursuits that our graduates have gained and achieved, you know, upon graduation. So I'll pause here. Any questions before I talk a little bit about our placements? Okay. No problem. Okay. So finally, after your 2 semesters of in-classroom work, and this is sort of really, this is important information because students come to a program like the PWC program because they want practical experience. They want hands-on experience. The great thing is our first 2 semesters give that to you, but then what you can do is you can go out and you know, really gain some great experience that will give you that sort of entry point into the industry in your internship. We have a placement advisor in our internship program, and she works with you from the very start of the program, and to find out where it is you're interested in being, you know, when you get to that internship point. Where do you see yourself going, you know, in the communication sector? Maybe it's that you want to work for a government organization, or maybe it's that you want to work, say, in social media management for a not-for-profit organization. So maybe it's that you want to work for an organization like BuzzFeed or Exclaim Media, you know, and those are places where our graduates now work. So, you know, once you sort of have thought about where it is you want to go, our placement advisor does her best to find postings that you can then apply for. And we help our students along the way. We have a mock interview series where students work with an external panel to get feedback on their interview skills and style. We help our students create resumes that are targeted, that will allow them to, you know, submit really meaningful applications to their internship hosts. And from there, what happens is each student is essentially will go and interview for a few different internships, and eventually what happens is the whole group lands a phenomenal internship, and they get to embark on that journey for usually it lasts about 12 weeks in length. During that process, our placement advisor checks in. So it's not as if when you go off and do your internship that is the end of, you know, your affiliation or relationship with Humber. In fact, there's a continuation. There's a midpoint check-in with the employer and with the student, and then there is also a final midpoint check-in with the employer and student, so that the whole time we can, you know, have a sense of how things are going with the internship. And there's also opportunity along the way for students to sort of just, you know, fill us in, let us know how things are going. Our placement advisor, if it's a new employer that we haven't worked with in the past, will do a site visit and visit you in your workplace to see how things are going and get a sense of the culture of the workplace. So, any questions? We're probably coming close to the end of the session, so I'd like at least a couple minutes for questions. And again, keep in mind that you can reach me at that email address. I'd be more than happy to chat with you more. Just waiting, there's usually a slight delay. We have a couple more minutes, and it's absolutely fine if you would rather just reach out to me directly with questions rather than posting them here. Again, I tend to be very quick to reply, and I'd be more than happy to make sort of direct contact with anyone who's interested. So please reach out to me. Okay, just don't see anything coming in.
There's one that I just published, Megan.
Oh, did you? Okay, great. So I'm just going to see if I can find that. Do you mind reading it to me, John? Just, is that okay?
Oh, you know what? It's actually for wrap for the next session.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem at all. No problem at all. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming. I really hope that you learned a little bit about the Professional Writing and Communications program today. Again, please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'd love to chat with you. I know I give you a lot of information all at once, so hopefully you were able to take some of that in, but feel free to reach out to me and we can chat some more, and I look forward to hearing from you. So thank you and have a great day.
Hi, everybody. This is Mary Takis. I'm the program coordinator for the Research Analyst program, and we have a half an hour today to give you a little bit of information about the program, and as well I can take any of your questions in the live event Q&A. So if you have any questions, by all means, direct them to me. And I hope everybody's keeping well in the current times. We have a partly sunny day, so that always helps our spirits. So I can wait a few minutes for the questions, and if not, if there's anything that's pending, I can just give you kind of a quick overview of the program. Oftentimes, questions that I get for students when they come in, they ask me, is this program for me? So first of all, you need to have an undergraduate degree in order to be admitted to the program. So that's the first requirement. But what's more important is just looking at your background and seeing if you have some kind of an interest, a desire, a love for all things research. In our program, we provide students with very broad foundational skills so that they can actually go into either market research or social research. And you don't need a specific background in terms of your undergraduate discipline in order to be admitted into the program. As I said, we provide you with the broad repertoire of skills that you would need in order to be successful in the field. Many students, though, however, don't really quite understand the differences between marketing research and social research. It's not so much in the methodology as it is in the topic or the subject matter. So just a little case in point in terms of what's going on with SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19. If you were interested, for example, in the public's perception in terms of how municipal or provincial or federal governments are dealing with the crisis, maybe you wanted to compare different jurisdictions in terms of how they are dealing with this issue, you'd very much be involved in social research. However, if you wanted to look at the impact on specific businesses in terms of economic fallout or economic repercussions, you'd be doing marketing research. Now you could see you could actually do even a hybrid type of research, kind of a social/marketing research, by perhaps looking at not only the economic impact of businesses, but in terms of how that economic impact is then affecting people's lives and their livelihood. And that would be more kind of a hybrid approach to doing both marketing and social research. So if you have that kind of broad general interest, by all means, this would be a very good program for you. I also get a lot of questions from prospective students in terms of clinical research. So if you have a life sciences background, a medical background, while our program could be of some help for you, Humber has a more kind of specialized program, and that is the clinical research program. So if you have that interest, that would be, if you like, that very specialized type, you want to work in a clinical setting, you want to work in a lab, it would be more the clinical research program, Humber's clinical research program, that would be good for you. That being said, we do have students in the program that do have medical backgrounds, pharmaceutical backgrounds, biological backgrounds, life science backgrounds, and they do land up working in hospital settings, but more doing applied research. So again, our program's very much welcoming in terms of people having a wide variety of undergraduate degrees in disciplines. So we don't need a specialized degree that way. I'll just wait a little minute here, see if there's any other new questions coming in. I don't see any new questions at this point, but I'll just, sometimes there's a wee bit of a delay. So I'll just wait a little bit here, and then I can do a very quick overview of the program in terms of the curriculum. And then following that, I'll talk about the placement process for anybody who's interested in that. All right, I don't see any questions directed to me right at this point. All right, so let me just give you a very brief overview of the program. So we are a semester, we have 2 semesters in the program. They're 16 weeks each. We have 2 intakes. We have a September intake and a January intake. And after the successful completion of the 2 academic terms, students proceed to a 12-week work placement. So in terms of the curriculum, I'll just, as I said, briefly go over the different courses. So we have a surveying society course, but also in that course, you're given an overview of research design. Because as I said, a lot of people coming into the program, some people don't have any formal research background other than perhaps doing some academic research for papers or their undergraduate theses. But we're more into applied research. So in terms of giving them information about research design, that Surveying Society course does give an overview of the different types of research designs and introduces you as well to navigating through a lot of publicly available data sets like Stats Canada. We have 2 qualitative methods courses, one in semester 1 and one semester 2. And those courses teach students how to collect data in terms of running small focus groups, doing key informant interviews, and as well doing observational studies. And then as well, we also have 2 quantitative methods or statistics courses, both in semester 1 and then subsequently in semester 2. And of course, in terms of being a research analyst, one of the very core skill sets is data analysis. So yes, you will have a statistics course, and if you are a little, if you like, reticent or perhaps slightly afraid of doing a math course, maybe you haven't had a lot of math in perhaps your secondary schooling or in your undergraduate degree, please don't be dissuaded by thinking that you have to do 2 statistics courses. We've had numerous students, hundreds of students, come through the program thus far, and they've all, the great majority, the vast majority of them have been very successful in the courses, so no need to worry there. In semester 1, we also have a research ethics course, which will give you and provide you with an overview of how you as a researcher need to be cognizant of the ethical and legal protocols that need to be following when you are doing research in terms of collecting data from human subjects. We also have a spreadsheet and table management course in the first semester. And basically what that course covers is an overview of Microsoft Office, but specifically we concentrate on Excel there. Excel still tends to be a very widely used program in organizations and in industry. So it's very important for students in terms of being able to do their data analysis, data visualization, that they really have a really good command of Excel. And then we also have in that first semester a research and business communications course. So again, a lot of students, when they come into the program, again, because they have an academic degree, they are used to communicating, especially in terms of their written communications in a very, very strict and strong academic style. But in the business world, in organizations, a lot of times when you are doing corporate communications, it's a different style than a very kind of highly formalized style. So we give students, you know, an overview and give them tutelage in terms of how to, if you like, kind of shift from that very, very kind of formal academic mode of communication into more of a corporate communication mode. And as well, we show students that the preliminaries of how to construct business plans, because even within the program, we do try to foster a very entrepreneurial student, I should say an entrepreneurial spirit in students. So, you know, perhaps when they graduate from the program, maybe they'll find that they might want to work for a company for a year or two, but then after that, they have the confidence to branch out on their own, perhaps, and start up their own small boutique firm. So we give students, you know, an overview of kind of grant writing, business writing, and corporate communications writing in that course. Then moving on into semester 2, we have a course that's dedicated to new research technologies. So you're looking at there doing a Google Analytics, looking at Tableau, looking at Power BI. We have another course that's dedicated to SPSS. And again, that's a statistical package that's widely used for data analysis. And we also have 2 project management courses. One project management course is developed more towards people's personal, interpersonal, professional skills in terms of project management. So if you like, in terms of people management, conflict negotiation and resolution, creativity. But then we also have another course that provides you with an overview of the technical skills for project management. It's a very interesting course because those project management skills that you learn, you can transfer them to a wide variety of contexts and industry settings. So students in the program, they do have obviously independent work. We have a wide variety of assessments. We have tests, we have exams, we have smaller in-class assignments, hands-on assignments. We have obviously projects, we have essays, but we have a larger project that the students work on in small groups, and that happens over about a 4-month period. And it's really in that project management course where they not only create the project, execute the project, and then create final deliverables for the project, but they also learn all the, if you like, components in terms of managing the project over its entire life cycle. So that more or less gives kind of a brief overview of the program in terms of its curriculum for semesters 1 and 2. And I'll just kind of pause here for just a few seconds just to see if there's been any questions that have been coming my way. So just bear with me in a moment.
Hi, Mary. I'll read you a question from one of the students. Is the program suitable for those interested in health policy?
In terms of health policy, I would say yes, because if you're looking at health policy, you're looking at social research. And as I had mentioned earlier, perhaps the student didn't tune in right at the beginning of the overview of the info session today, but the program does prepare students to do work in policy research, policy analysis, and obviously health policy would be part of that.
Okay, thank you. There is also another question with regards to placements. What placement assistance would be provided by Humber for the research analyst program?
Alrighty, so I was just going to move on to that. So that's a great question to be asked right at this moment. So in terms of the placement, let me just do a quick overview of the placement process. So after students have successfully completed the 2 academic terms, I should say, there's a 12-week work placement. So early in the first term, we have a placement advisor who meets with students individually to get a sense of their academic background, to get a sense of where their interests are, and to get a sense of where they see themselves, you know, a year from the program, 5 years post-graduation. And then based on all that information, our placement advisor tries to see to the best of their ability and obtain a sufficient number of placements for students in the program. So another question I sometimes get is how many students are in the program per intake. So we usually have about 40 to 45. So our placement advisor would obtain 40 to 45 placements for the students. Then those placement postings are circulated to the students. The students pick perhaps maybe 5 that they're interested in, and then they have to write resumes and cover letters that are tailored to those 5 postings of interest. And we do provide support in the program for the students. We help them with mock interview sessions and with a resume and cover letter writing workshops. Then we send those 5 resumes out to the employers. The employers do a review of them, and then they contact the students that they're interested in for an interview. So at this point, it's up to the student to actually, if you like, seal the deal and secure that placement. If students go out on kind of the first round of interviews and they're not successful, we keep repeating the process until such time as all the students in the program are placed. So we have, if you like, a full support for students in terms of our placement advisor and other faculty members to support students in terms of securing those places. That being said, we also strongly encourage students, and they're most welcome if they already know about an organization that they would be interested in actually having their placement at. By all means, they're welcome to approach that organization, but you know, we always ask that first of all that the student speaks to the placement advisor, because there's certain types of criteria that are in place in order for placements to be approved. So we would need to know if those prospective placements actually do meet that criteria.
Okay, may I read another question from Natalie, please? Are placements paid or considered as credit completion for the course? Could a student doing this program find work/study opportunities at Humber?
All right, so it is a course. So it's the course code is RAP 5021. So it is a course. So students do need to complete the placement in order to graduate from the program. There are work opportunities, usually through the course of the year. They're part-time work opportunities, oftentimes at Humber in various departments that have positions open for our students. And we've also had placements within Humber itself. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much. I don't see any other questions placement related, but there are some general questions. Student is asking if the research analyst course starts in September 2020, whether it ends in April 2021, including co-op placement. So they want to know the duration of the program.
All right. So the program, again, there's 2 intakes. There's a September intake and there's a January intake. So there's 2 academic terms. So if you entered in September, your first academic term would be September to December. Your second academic term would be January through to the end of April. And then your 12-week work placement would start in May. So the 12-week work placement follows the successful completion of the first 2 academic terms. And I just remembered with the previous question, there was a component about placements. Are they paid or are they unpaid? So we have a variety, if you like, of types of financial compensation attached to the placements. The majority of them are fully paid. Some of them have a stipend or an honorarium attached to them. So that's a smaller amount of money, but still it could be significant. So perhaps at the end of a 12-week placement, a student is given an honorarium, say maybe $4,000 or $5,000. So it's obviously not completely paid, you're not on a salary, but there is some kind of financial compensation. Not all organizations that do give a stipend or honorarium can give something so generous. Sometimes it's only maybe $1,000 or $2,000, but there still is some compensation. There are as well some unpaid placements. Oftentimes those tend to be for social research agencies, simply because oftentimes those types of agencies aren't as well funded as market research in the private sector. But even the students who go into unpaid placements, it is still a meaningful learning experience and also a meaningful work experience. So all the placements are meaningful. We vet the placements. So in other words, we get postings, and if the postings do not fulfill the criteria for the course and also do not match well with the program, we don't take those placements on. So they have to be research focused.
Okay, thank you so much, Mary. We have another question. Is the program suitable for public policy?
Yes, it is. So we do teach policy analysis, and students are welcome again for that larger project that they do to actually take some policy and do an analysis of it, or look at policies in terms of various jurisdictions, and then do a comparative analysis in terms of an issue. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to see if there are any new questions that may have come in.
All right. So while you're looking there, I can talk a little bit more about some of the other networking type opportunities we have for students. So I spoke a little bit in terms of the program providing support for students in terms of their professional development. So again, interview workshops, mock interview workshops, resume and cover letter writing workshops. But we do have a speaker series. So during the semester, the first semester usually, about every second week, we bring in an industry professional to talk about what's going on in their industry in terms of how it would help our research students actually obtain jobs, give them a sense in terms of putting kind of their finger of the pulse in terms of current knowledge and current skill sets. And it also provides a networking opportunity for students, kind of, a one-on-one, because when you have one speaker in the room and you have 40 students, it's a little bit easier to meet with that individual and get to know them a little bit than if you're at a really large venue where there's 400 or 500 people and they're milling about and they're meeting numerous people. We do have, every year we have an annual, what we call the research forum. And if you're looking at the screenshot right now, at the bottom you can see there's posters there. And that's the work of our students. Those posters in part represent the larger project that they work on in teams. But this is the large showcase every year that we have to showcase the students' work, for the students to get to network with multiple members of industry, and also to learn from them. So again, if you look at the middle pane there, you'll notice there's kind of a semicircle and there's 4 people sitting there. So that came from our October 29, 2019 research forum, and we had a panel speaking about how new research technologies, artificial intelligence, and automation are impacting research and the careers for research analysts. So any other questions? We've got about 6 more minutes here.
I don't see any more questions, but maybe we can mention about virtual placements this semester and fall for the students, what we're trying to do in terms of assisting students with completion of placements.
All right. So because of what's been happening in terms of the COVID crisis right now, we're all moving still online with placements over the summer. So for our students who would be going on placement in the next couple of weeks, May, June, end of July, we're actively working on securing placements that could be conducted virtually.
Thank you so much.
There is a beauty to the program because a lot of the work that you do in terms of doing research, a lot of it can be done remotely. So for example, you need to do a lot of desk research and analysis. You can do that completely remotely.
Let me.
And I know students a lot of times also want to know where we have been able to secure placements in the past. So, you know, we've got a list here on our site. So if you're interested, you can always go to our research analyst website to get any more information. But we've had, you know, Bell Media, BrandSpark, CAMH. We've also had the Defense Research Development Canada, Dig Insights, Flip, Forum Research, John Howard Society, Logit Group, Leger, both the London District Catholic School Boards and the Toronto District School Board, the Ontario Ministry of the Solicitor General, the Ontario Ministry of Education, Open Labs, Orion, the Research Management Group, the Royal Ontario Museum, Ubisoft, Vividata, the Yellow Brick House, Hot Specs, Life Labs, Loblaws, MediaCon, Numerous, the Peel District School Board and Peel District Region, the Rotman Research Institute, and that's just to name a few. So when you look at the website, and there are, if you like, recurring placement organizations, but every year we also secure new ones as well. So we have, if you like, an ever-growing body of our, what we call our research partnership family.
Okay, thank you so much. We have 3 other questions. We can try to answer them within the span of time that's left. So students asking, how many students are part of each cohort?
Okay, so usually between about 40 and 45.
And we have 2 cohorts a year.
Pardon me?
And we have
2 cohorts. Yes, we have, yes, 2 intakes. So we have a September intake and we have a January intake. And it's only the students in that cohort that will be in your classes. So our classes aren't open to any other programs. They're exclusive to RAP.
Okay. Thank you so much. If the COVID condition prevails, would the courses be provided online?
Yes, they would be. Yes, if that's what the government announcement is that we still can't open face-to-face, then we have to follow the government mandates.
Correct. And I have another student question from a student. Do I need to have knowledge regarding any software or technology to be part of the research analyst program?
No, not to be part of it, not to be part of it. But by the time that you graduate from it, you will be able, as I said, you'll have the full complement of the Microsoft Office suite, especially Excel. You'll have Hyper Research and SPSS.
Okay, thank you so much.
So thanks for everybody. We've just got about 2 minutes left. So thanks for everybody who's tuned in today, and thank you for all your questions. And if anybody joined midstream or early on and they still wanted to ask a question, my information is at the bottom of the welcome screen here. So it's mary.takis@humber.ca, and I'd look forward to receiving any kind of inquiries you might have about the program. Any final questions?
Let me scan through. No,
okay.
I don't have any additional questions. So perfect timing for the next session to begin. Thank you all. I'll spend a few minutes afterwards in the Q&A section to answer some of the questions that haven't been answered yet.
Alrighty. So thank you everybody today. Have a wonderful day. Keep healthy. Take good care.
Thank you. Hope to see you. Bye.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have the next presentation and information session for the General Arts and Science Pathways programs at Humber. Thanks so much to my colleagues, Mona and Mary, for going through the Research Analyst program. They will be still in the chat function for the students who are still online, interested in learning a little bit more about the Research Analyst program. We're going to start now talking about the General Arts and Science Pathways programs at Humber. So welcome this afternoon. We really appreciate having you here with us. We are going to just go over the various options about starting with foundational programs, what we can call preparatory programs, all programs that you can start with at Humber and lead to over 100 programs within Humber and many colleges and universities as well. So as a brief introduction, I have colleagues joining me today. I'm the Associate Dean of Pathways. My first name is April Dawn. Welcome, and I'm going to do a little bit about the benefits of Humber's pathway programs. From there, I'll pass it off to my colleague, Michelle Jordan, who is the program coordinator. She looks after our college transfer certificate program and what we call our university transfer certificate program and diploma, but those are also degree transfer programs. So Michelle will lead us through that portion of our information session today. And then Jennifer Ball, our faculty who is leading our sustainability specializations, both level 1 and level 2, is with us this afternoon as well to give us a little bit more information about this unique pathway and specialization only found here at Humber. Finally, Ann Lydon, our program coordinator, will walk us through the technology certificate as well as our pre-health sciences certificate. So again, welcome to this afternoon, and feel free to share any questions you have with us in the chat function. We'd be happy to answer those as well. My colleagues will be pausing as we go through the presentation, and we'll also be sharing our email address that you can email us at any time at gas@humber.ca, but more on that as we go through the presentation. So briefly, our overview of what we'll be talking about in this afternoon's virtual open house with our pathway and foundation programs is the benefits of those programs, what programs are included, and then we'll go into the specific details of the 5 different program options and that sustainability specialization as well. So pathway programs. There are 5 programs to choose from. I've mentioned them briefly as I was introducing my colleagues, but our technology certificate is very unique. It's one of a very unique program design with over 9 different options for students to try courses throughout the 2 different semesters through their elective options. So Anne will get into a little bit more of those details. The college transfer certificate as well as the university transfer certificate and diploma are also unique in their designs, giving students an opportunity to test out various areas of interest in the social sciences, improve their GPA, but I don't want to get into all those benefits now. You'll see on our screen, that we also have the sustainability specialization. What we mean about that is, and it's very relevant today, so I won't go into all of the details as Jen will describe, but given the situations we find ourselves in now with the climate crisis, there's many fields of study as well as careers that the sustainability specialization will start to expose students through our foundation program and pathway. And then most importantly, pre-health. This is a very relevant field right now with all of our healthcare professionals working very hard through this COVID crisis. But our pre-health sciences program is also unique in terms of its lab components and its experiential learning. So Anne will share a little bit more about that with you as well. Continuing on with some of the benefits of the 5 pathway programs is the number of pathways you can access at Humber. There are other pathways you can access as well beyond Humber, as an example, University of Toronto, Mississauga, York University, but Humber has over 29 degree programs. So there's a number of program pathways. Once you start at Humber, you can stay with us or choose to move on to another post-secondary institution. We've got great courses and professors who teach our history courses, social sciences, so things like Sociology 1, Sociology 2. We have literature courses where you can, test yourself in different books and theories and concepts of literature and forms of literature. And then we have specializations in business, so that if you're interested in business, you can take some courses to understand what pathways might be available there. We often get asked, what are the options if my grades weren't that great in high school, or it's been quite a while since I was in post-secondary and I'm not sure what my GPA, and GPA stands for grade point average, is, and how can I make sure I'm going to be successful in post-secondary? So the Pathways programs really give benefits to a student who needs to improve their grades. They need to maybe redo math or take another English course, get their grade point average up to either what is required for admission to a program of choice, or just improve their potential of being considered during that admission round. We mentioned here the foundational skills. There is a lot to learn when you're coming into post-secondary with regards to how to study for tests and assignments, how to prepare an essay. What are those foundational skills that you need to really get a strong footing in before you move into your program that will get you into your career path? So those foundational skills are really key within the general arts and science programs that allow students to really assess where their learning opportunities are. We have services at the college that benefit students with regards to accessibility. We have an accessibility and testing center that students can also connect with and understand where they might need some support in their studies as they progress through post-secondary. And we have information sessions happening at Humber today that cover off some of those services at Humber. So I hope you've had a chance to take a look at those, but feel free again to contact us at GAS, that stands for General Arts and Science, at humber.ca if we can help you with any of those questions. I've mentioned a little bit about the enhancing admission possibilities already, but I will talk about gaining transfer credits, and I know Michelle and Anne will delve into this a little bit deeper. But gaining transfer credits, what that means is in your first semester or second semester of the General Arts and Science Pathway programs, you'll have the opportunity to take courses that may be equivalent to a course in a future semester of, say, mechanical engineering or accounting or business or finance or within the health sciences. So those transfer credits that you're learning while you're in the foundations programs or pathway programs will be able to be transferred to your future program of study. That does need to be looked at as on a case-by-case basis in some instances, but again, my colleagues will go into some of the details about transfer credit you're automatically granted based on agreements we have within Humber and beyond Humber. The benefit of this is also reducing your course load in future programs. Oftentimes, it's beneficial if you're considering that you need more study time or you'd like to, become a student teacher. We call those tutors. The opportunity to reduce that course load in future programs may facilitate the student being able to have more time to study or even take on a part-time job, care for loved ones, whatever that might be in the situation of our pathway students. But reducing the course load because you've gained transfer credits is also a good option. We don't have this on the slide, but I will mention that by gaining some of these transfer credits and attending Humber first for a pathway program, you may actually have less time that you have to spend in a future program and save some costs. That's not always the case, but we will go through a timeline chart towards the end of this presentation that will highlight some of those additional benefits. And overall, Humber is amazing at having a number of college-wide workshops and events. We have a special what's called first year experience where our students participate or have the opportunity to participate in tutorials, workshops, fun events, there's movie nights, there's resume writing, career workshops, the opportunity to have study tips and learning skills. So those college-wide workshops and events are for all students, including our Pathways program students. Next, I will now transfer it over to my colleague, Michelle Jordan, the program coordinator for the College Certificate Program.
April Dawn. So I'm going to be talking about the certificate and diploma programs for college certificate, university transfer certificate, and the university transfer diploma. So April Dawn has already touched on some of the great benefits of each of these programs, but I'm going to go through what some of the differences are between each of them. They do, all of the three programs have a common first semester, which is nice because that'll give you the chance to potentially switch between programs. So for some of you, you may be applying and you're unsure of which program you want to go into, whether it's the college certificate or university. So the great thing is that you can apply to any of the programs and then make a switch after first semester. So you're not, you don't have to be too committed at this point to what you want to do in the future. So for the GAS College Certificate, this is a one-year program, so 2 semesters, and this will help you access college programs at Humber College, or you can transfer to other colleges as well. So we have over 200 programs here at Humber, so this is a great first step in going into other programs. With this program, you'll be taking courses in things like writing and math, research skills, and critical thinking. So this will help you improve your skills as well as gain transfer credits for your future programs. From this program as well, you can also apply to university. So if you're interested in going to York, for instance, you could take the college certificate program and still transfer into that program. Okay, so for this program, as you can see, these are the courses that are part of the program of study. So it's 2 semesters long. So you can start in September at the North Campus in Lakeshore, or you can start at January at the North Campus, and you can continue through the summer with these programs, or you can just do them in the fall and winter semesters. So in the 2 semesters, you'll be taking a variety of courses. A lot of these courses are in humanities and social sciences, but again, a lot of foundational skills as well. So you'll be doing some writing courses, some math, and then in your second semester, you get to choose from a variety of electives, which is really exciting. So for those of you who are interested in doing business, for instance, you could take a business law course or an introduction to business class, and then you also have an opportunity to take an elective related to sustainability. My colleague Jen will be talking about that in a few minutes, but that's a really great feature of the program as well.
Michelle, may I ask you to highlight the Applied Psychology for Student Success course and how that helps students identify career and educational paths?
I can definitely do that. So in all of the programs in the General Arts and Science program, in first semester, you'll be taking a course called Applied Psychology for Student Success. So this is a really great course. As part of this course, you'll be set up with a student advisor. So 3 times throughout the semester, as part of the coursework, you get to meet one-on-one with a student advisor who can help you, talk about things that are going well, things that you're unsure about, and can help you come up with strategies for being successful. In the rest of the course, we look at ways to increase your likelihood of success in your courses through things like study skills. We also do a lot of work on psychology and the psychology of being a successful student. So we look at your personality and how your personality type may impact your ability to be a successful student and strategies you can use based on your personality. And then we also do a lot of career and education planning as well. So again, you'll be working with your instructor one-on-one and as a class to come up with a plan for your future program or your future career goals. So for those of you who are unsure of what you want to go into, I often hear from students that this class really helps them and that by the end of this semester, they have a better sense of what it is that they want to do. Okay, so that was the college program. So the university certificate program, again, this is a 1-year program, and this program can help you get into college programs as well. Or the main purpose of this one is to help you get into degree level studies. So you can complete this program and then go on to study at in a Humber degree, or you can go on to study university with one of our other university partners. Okay, so for instance, York, University of Guelph Humber as well will take some of our students, and then other universities as well. Okay, and again, like the college transfer certificate, this program will help you improve your skills as well as give you transfer credits. So for York, if you complete the one-year university certificate, then you get up to a half a year of transfer credits at York University. So you'll see now on the screen, this is the list of courses that are offered in the university certificate program. Okay, so you'll be doing a variety of courses related to the humanities and social sciences. So I will stress with this program, for those of you who are interested in going into health at the university level or technology or anything that's science or technology based, this wouldn't be the right program for you. There are other options though that we can go through with you. This program is designed for things that are not math and science based. So things like the social sciences, so psychology, sociology, social work, those types of courses. So if you have a question about which program you should do based on what you're interested in going into, we would be happy to work with you to figure that out. And I know we've published the gas@humber.ca email on the Q&A, but that would be a way to contact someone to talk about which program is right for you. So in this program, as you can see in first semester, you'll be doing the Applied Psychology for Student Success course, as well as a variety of other courses. And then in second semester, this program is a bit more humanities and social science based. So you'll be doing a literature course, critical thinking, and then you also get an elective choice in this program. So for those of you who are interested in learning a bit about sustainability, you can take one of our sustainability electives in this program, or you can take a philosophy course as well. So that's the university certificate program. And then finally, for those of you who want to further your education a bit more, maybe you're enjoying Humber so much that you want to stay with us a bit longer, this is a 2-year program, so it's 4 semesters in total, and it's offered at both campuses. So this program builds upon the skills that were developed in the first year of the program. So in this program, you'll be getting more transfer credits than you would with the certificate program. So completing this program gets you up to a year or more of transfer credits at our university partners. So we have a strong partnership with the University of Toronto Woodsworth. And then we also have a very strong partnership with York University and the University of Toronto Mississauga as well. So this is really important and great for those of you who are concerned about money, aren't we all? You will save a lot on tuition. So if you come to us for 2 years and then you get a year off of your university, you're saving thousands and thousands of dollars. So it really is a great opportunity. You'll be with smaller class sizes in this program, as well as learning with very experienced faculty who have graduate degrees. So you're getting a university experience at the college level, which is really beneficial. In terms of the courses that are offered in this program, again, we're building upon the skills that you've learned in your first year. So you'll be doing a lot more writing. You get a lot of options. So in your first semester, you get 3 choices for what you'd like to take. So for those of you who are interested in literature or philosophy, you can take those types of classes, or you can take an elective or learn more about sustainability. And then in your 4th semester, there's more history and literature components as well as your electives. So again, we're giving you lots of choices. So you have the opportunity to try out different subjects to see what you are interested in and what you'd like to take at the university level. Okay, so I guess I'll pause there if there's any questions about any of those 3 programs. Okay, doesn't look like there are, so I will turn things over now to my colleague, Jennifer Ball, and she can talk about the sustainability specialization.
Thanks, Michelle. Hi, everyone. My name is Jen Ball, and I'm a professor here at Humber, and I'm joining today to tell you about a really unique opportunity in the Humber General Arts and Science program, and it's called the Sustainability Specialization. And this is an add-on to the college and university programs that you've just learned about. And another thing I want to say is that it's the only one of its kind in the GTA, so it's pretty special. So let me tell you a bit about it. We all know the world is facing unprecedented challenges, and the one that's the most apparent to us today, of course, is the global coronavirus pandemic. But on a positive note, we are seeing an unprecedented global cooperation to resolve this problem. And these important partnerships are definitely going to serve us well as we tackle the other big challenges that we could think about: the climate crisis, biodiversity loss, water, global human health, etc. So let me tell you what this means for the students in the General Arts and Science program. If you choose a sustainability specialization level 1, you would declare this choice as soon as possible once you're granted a position in the program. And then in the program, while you're in the program as a student, you complete a number of in-class and out-of-class opportunities to get this designation as a specialist in sustainability. So if you are in the college transfer or the university transfer certificate programs that Michelle just told you about, that means that you are with us for 2 semesters. And during those 2 semesters, you must volunteer as a Green Ambassador with Humber's Office of Sustainability for the 2 semesters. You must participate in a sustainability training workshop or 2 offered through Humber's Center for Urban Ecology, and attend a Green Collar Careers workshop and complete 1 eco-themed elective course from the list you're looking at right there. So that's level 1. So now let's talk about level 2. So the University Transfer Diploma program is 4 semesters, and in order to complete the Sustainability Specialization level 2, you would have more opportunities to learn about sustainability and gain an enhanced recognition. So more specifically, you would volunteer as a Green Ambassador with Humber's Office of Sustainability for 4 semesters, attend a Green Collar Careers workshop, and participate in the Learning by Leading course. And this is offered through Humber's Center for Urban Ecology. Just a note here, there is an application required for this program, but we'll coach you through that. And complete 3 eco-themed elective courses from the list that you're looking at right there. So both level 1 and level 2 of the sustainability specialization will expose you to some high demand career pathways in the green sector, that important sector that's only going to be more important as every year goes by. And also every student who specializes in sustainability will enjoy small classes and field trips, green guest speakers, academic advising, and lots of experiential learning. Plus, you'll still be meeting those admission requirements and earning transfer credits for all kinds of post-secondary programs. So just to sum up, the sustainability specialization at Humber is a really unique pathway learning opportunity. It's unlike any other in the GTA, and it's designed especially for students who are passionate about the environment, about social justice, and the climate crisis. And if this sounds anything like you, then I invite you to come and check it out. And you can do so by visiting our sustainability specialization webpage. So we'll post a link to that in the chat. And you can email us at greenpaths@humber.ca if you have any questions. And of course, I can answer any questions now you might have if you want to just write them down in the chat. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jen.
Hi.
Hi, Anne. Looking to pass it over to you to talk about the technology certificate.
Thanks, April Dawn. So my name is Anne Lydon and I'm the program coordinator for the Technology Certificate Program. The Technology Certificate Program is only held at the North Campus and it's an 8-month program. We have a September start, and for the first time this upcoming academic year, we also have a January intake. This is a really unique program, and we're the only technology pathway in the GTA to offer 9 different pathway program options. What we've built is a program where you have a lot of elective choice. So you get to sample courses from different programs that we offer in our Faculty of Applied Science and Technology. So in semester 1, you get to take an elective from a range of them from 6 different programs. And semester 2, you get to take 2 electives from that dip into the same programs, but also into other programs that the Faculty of Applied Science and Technology offer. At the same time, you're doing the same course that Michelle talked about earlier. You're doing the applied psychology course in which you work on your own study skills, but also you get a chance to explore a study program and a career option in which you are interested. So alongside doing the electives, you have that chance to sort of think through what you might want to do once you finish the technology certificate itself. Some of the pathways that the technology certificate leads to are things like mechanical engineering, computer networking, heating, refrigeration and air conditioning. That's HVAC, that's really popular. And some of the electives you can choose from are directly from these programs. What that then enables you to do is, should you choose to go into computer networking, you could go with some of the transfer credits you get in the program for writing, but also some of the core classes from the computer networking program. You'll already have completed those courses and you take those credits with you. That means that you have reduced course load for the first and potentially the second semester of the program. So it just offers you a wide range of possibilities. As with the other programs, and as Michelle has already mentioned, there also you have a chance to be in small classes. So you have small classes with highly qualified faculty that can really make sure they get alongside you and enhance your learning experience at Humber. The other program for which I'm a program coordinator is the Pre-Health Sciences Pathway to Advanced Degrees and Diplomas. Very long name, I understand. We generally call it the Pre-Health Sciences Pathway or the Pre-Health Sciences Program. This is a really popular program that we only offer at the North Campus. It's an eight-month full-time program, and we only have a September start date for that program. This program prepares you for a really wide variety of potential study options in the health sciences. You can go to anything from traditional Chinese medicine through to Bachelor of Health Sciences, paramedics, biotechnology, emergency communications, and other programs, kinesiology. The most popular program is the nursing program, and we have a lot of students who come into the program wanting to do the Bachelor of Nursing, Practical Nursing, and in particular paramedics. When it comes to moving from the Pre-Health Science program through to Bachelor of Nursing, we have a specific pathway from pre-health through to a collaborative Bachelor of Nursing program that we offer with the University of New Brunswick. To get into the Bachelor of Nursing program, you have to fulfill very specific criteria that are set out in our pathway agreement. There are a number of courses that are listed on the slide. For each of those courses, you have to have a minimum grade of 75%, and you have to have a minimum GPA across the program of 75%. So that's one of the most popular programs for our students. Another really popular one is the Practical Nursing program. And the agreement we have for the Practical Nursing program is that in the same courses listed there, you have to have a minimum grade of 70% and a minimum GPA of 70%. There is another sort of avenue through to Practical Nursing, and that's an admissions test. And the program, the Pre-Health Science program, helps prepare you for the admissions test that you can do to get into the Practical Nursing program. As you're going through those courses listed, you also have some really important experiential opportunities. We have labs in a number of our different courses in bio, in chemistry, and physics. And so you get into the lab and you do experiments. You have hands-on experience with chemicals, with experiments. You get to sort of learn about them, talk about them, write about them, and share those experiences with your fellow students. And they're really, really great opportunities for you to get in there and have some practical experience. As I mentioned before, our partner for the Bachelor of Nursing is the Bachelor of Nursing degree is the University of New Brunswick. The agreement that I spelled out in the previous slide is the one that enables you to move through that program. We also have an agreement for the Humber Health Sciences and Wellness programs. So there's a number of programs you can move into. And with each of these programs, you're going to get transfer credits. As I mentioned with the technology program, and Michelle has mentioned earlier, that means reduced course load as you go into the Bachelor of Nursing and as you go into practical nursing in particular, but also in the paramedic program, because the writing courses that you do with us, some of the psychology programs you do with us, enable you to reduce your course load as you transition into the Bachelor of Nursing, practical nursing, and the paramedics program. Now I'm going to hand it back to our Associate Dean, April Dawn.
Thanks, Anne. So my appreciation to Michelle and Jen and Anne for walking us through the 5 different pathway programs that we're highlighting today here at Humber. We just thought we would put up a visual slide of the time that it would take for completion into some of those programs. So here we have on the first slide, the first line is 1 year at Humber for the pre-health, the program that Anne was just speaking of, and then 4 years in the registered nursing degree with University of New Brunswick, and 1 year at Humber for the general arts and science college or university program, with then moving forward to a 2-year diploma or that 4-year degree that she mentioned at Humber, York, and other universities. And then we've got other partnerships that we've established with the University of Toronto, Mississauga, York University, Bishop's University, and others that we'd be also happy to connect with you and share a little bit more about those details and transfer credits if you contact us at gas@humber.ca, and I believe that's in the chat function as well. So I'll pause here to see if there's any other questions or comments in the chat that we need to answer. So if my colleagues could just let me know, and then if not, we can continue on with highlighting the rest of the presentation, again, for anyone who's joined us a little bit late into the dialogue. So Michelle or Anne, do you see any questions that we need to answer in the chat function?
I don't see any questions at the moment.
Great. Okay. So why don't we just go back and we will go through the beginning part of our presentation again for those who may have joined us a little bit late to make sure that we share what is available in the Pathways programs at Humber. It'll just take me a moment to queue up the slides. Oh, and here's the emails that we mentioned. Jen, I believe you mentioned this one as well, the green paths at humber.ca. So the green paths at humber.ca can be used to ask a little bit more about the sustainability specialization, or feel free to use just the GAS at humber.ca as well. Okay. So just queuing our slides back up for the general arts and science pathways overview. If we're ready to get started, we'll just talk about all the benefits.
There is a, oops, oh, I'm not sure there's a question, okay.
And are you just checking to see if there is a question? I'll pause and wait.
Yeah, there's a question there about the pre-health program. If I obtain the 75% average in pre-health science and I'm interested in applying for RN degree, how can I apply early next year if I'm actively in the pre-health course? Do you want me to take that one, April Dawn?
Sure, that would be great.
So if you are in the pre-health program, you'll get lots of visits from myself and the admissions officer for the Bachelor of Nursing program. And we'll talk you through what you need to do to apply to the Bachelor of Nursing program. When applications open up in January, sort of into February, you can apply through OCAS to the Bachelor of Nursing program, and then that application will go through the standard process at Humber. But what will happen is that you'll be put into special grouping by the admissions officer that's specifically for Humber's pre-health science students, and you'll get processed using the pathway as the criteria for your application. I hope that answers your question. Feel free to post a follow-up question should you want to, or if you have any further information you'd like to have.
Thanks so much, Anne. Are there any other questions that we should pause for at this point in time?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, wonderful. So at any point in time, please do feel free to post your questions related to the General Arts and Science Technology Certificate, the Pre-Health Sciences pathway, or the General Arts and Science pathways for the college transfer or the degree transfer, otherwise known as the university transfer programs, and our sustainability specialization. So with the time that we have here, I will quickly highlight some of the benefits of the programs that we have within Humber. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, learning about the different pathways that we do have and what is available at Humber. There are over 200 programs within Humber that students can pathway to. So in terms of introducing myself and my colleagues, I'm the Associate Dean. My first name's April Dawn, and I'll do a few of the benefits for taking Pathways programs here at Humber. My colleague Michelle Jordan will give us the highlights for the college and university programs that we have. Jennifer Ball, one of our lead faculty for the sustainability specialization, will walk us through level 1 and level 2 for those students who are interested in understanding, again, how to have a positive impact with the things that are happening in our global environment today. And then Anne, who has just finished off talking about the pre-health and technology, will circle back to her to give some highlights there again as well. So as for the agenda and the presentation list, I will quickly pass over and start talking about each of these programs from the standpoint of what are some of the benefits. And Michelle will also highlight the fact that through the college transfer, the university transfer certificate program, and the university transfer diploma program, we start those off with a similar first semester, so that allows you to transfer within programs as you start to make choices about which pathway you'd like to specialize in your future educational programs. The benefits of the Pathways programs, I think one of the key ones that we tend to like to highlight is the fact that there's so many programs to choose from, but we help you with that. There are courses in history and social sciences like psychology, sociology, literature, where you can expand and explore different topics of literature and modern literature and forms of literature, as well as a business specialization in the sense that you'll learn a little bit more about introduction to business and business law. Most importantly, though, is a pathway program really helps a student who may need to improve their grade point average, what we call a GPA. That GPA from high school may have been, or their grades in high school may not have been at the level that they need them to be, or specific to programs, there's, as Anne highlighted earlier in our pre-health, is that you might need a higher GPA or grade point average to get into, an engineering program, a science program, or an accounting program, or a nursing program, as an example that we've spoken about. And the opportunity for the pathways is to take advantage of the services that we have at Humber related to our Math and Writing Center, so how to write essays, how to work on formulas, practice your math skills within the courses that we have embedded in the programs. So those foundational skills are those things around how to study at college, how to prepare for those tests and quizzes and assignments and presentations that you may not have done at the college level or need just more time to practice on. While doing the General Arts and Science program, you gain as well those admission opportunities, but transfer credit. So this can potentially save time and money in the long run while reducing course loads in your future programs. All of that to say is that Humber is amazing at providing a number of college-wide workshops and events in addition to your academic studies and in addition to helping with those foundational skills in the programs that we offer. So those workshops can be things like writing a resume or your cover letter or applying to programs, workshops on the bursaries, scholarships, and awards that students can receive that might help pay for tuition, as well as some fun events like movie nights and concerts and trips that you can take. So there's lots of benefits in taking the pathway programs at Humber. And now I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Michelle, who is the program coordinator for the college certificate program.
Great, thank you, April Dawn. So I'm going to be talking briefly about the college transfer certificate, the university transfer certificate, and the university transfer diploma. So what these three different programs have in common is that they do have a common first semester. So if you're unsure of what you want to go into at the college or university level, don't worry, you can apply to any three of those programs and then make a switch once you make your decision. So the college transfer certificate is a one-year program, and this program starts in September and January at the North Campus, and it also starts in September at the Lakeshore Campus. So this program is 2 semesters long and will give you a foundational basis of skills in areas like writing, math, research, and critical thinking. And completing this program will allow you to transfer into other Humber programs. So we have over 200 college programs at Humber, and you can transfer into those programs having completed the certificate. Okay, you also can go into university after completing this program if that's what you decide to do as well. Okay. So on the screen now is the list of courses that you'd be taking in the college transfer program. So in your first semester, you'll be getting a foundational span of courses in the humanities and social sciences. So you'll be taking some world civilizations, a sociology course, and a writing course. Unique to Humber is the Applied Psychology for Student Success course. So this course is offered in all of our programs, and this is a way to help you figure out what it is that you want to do as your next step and create a plan. So in the course, you'll be assigned a student advisor who you'll meet with 3 times throughout the semester, one-on-one, and this advisor will help you determine what your best plan is for programs or careers that you would like to go into. We also do a lot of work in terms of psychological theories related to student success to help you figure out how to be a successful student and to create a plan. So for those of you who don't know what you want to do following your college career, this course will help you determine that. And then in your second semester, you do a bit more writing, as well as you get to choose from 3 electives or 3 types of courses. So for those of you who are interested in going into business, you can take a course in business law or an introduction to business, and both of those credits would transfer into your next business program. And then you can also take some electives, either a general elective or an elective related to sustainability, which my colleague Jen will be talking about in a few minutes. Okay, so that's the college transfer certificate. The university transfer certificate is also a 1-year program. So this program is to help students who are interested in going into university or degree level studies at Humber College or at other universities. And you can also go into college certificate or diploma programs as well. Okay, so again, it's a 2-semester program. In September, we'll be having an intake at the North and the Lakeshore campus, or you can wait and start the program at the North campus in January. We have a variety of university partners. So we are partnered with Humber Degrees, as well as with York University and other universities as well. If you complete the 1-year certificate, you get up to a half a year of transfer credits when you go on to the next university program. And again, this is for students who are interested in taking humanities or social science based courses at the university level. So nothing related to health or technology, but if you're interested in doing a Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Social Science, this would be a good program for you. And then so we'll take a look at the courses. So in this program, again, it's 2 semesters long. So your first semester is the same as the college transfer program. In your second semester, you'll be doing more humanities courses. So you'll be doing a literature course, as well as you have the choice of taking a philosophy course. And then we have a second level sociology course that you can take. You also have the choice of taking an elective related to sustainability if that's your area of interest. And then the final program option is the GAS University Diploma. So if you're enjoying being at Humber in the GAS program so much that you want to stay longer, you can take the University Diploma. So this is a 2-year program. The first year of the program is the same as the certificate. And then in the second year of the program, you take more humanities and social science courses. So this is a great opportunity for those of you who are interested in going to university in the GTA. So for instance, if you want to go to the University of Toronto Woodsworth or UTM or York, you get up to a year or more of transfer credits, which is awesome. If you're concerned about money, which lots of us are, you'll save a ton on tuition costs because you'll be paying college tuition rather than university tuition, which is a lot cheaper. So if you just want to turn to the courses. So for this program, again, the first year is the same as the certificate, but in the second year, you get a lot more choices with what you'd like to take. So if you're interested in focusing on things like literature or sustainability or philosophy or history, you can choose the area that you would like to focus on, or you can choose to just take a variety of courses to help you figure out what the best program will be for you at the university level. And I will turn it over to Jen now.
Thanks, Michelle. So my name is Jen. I'm a professor here at Humber, and I am here to tell you a little bit about this unique opportunity that you've got in the Humber General Arts and Sciences program that we're calling the Sustainability Specialization. So this is an add-on to the college and university programs that Michelle just told you about. It's the college and university transfer programs that Michelle was just mentioning, and it's the only one of its kind in the GTA, so it's pretty unique. So just to sort of get us all on the same page, we know that the world is facing huge challenges right now. The one that comes to mind, of course, is the coronavirus pandemic, which has been a real challenge. But on a positive note, we're seeing that out of this have been forged these important partnerships, these international partnerships that will surely serve us as we tackle these other big challenges like the climate crisis or the biodiversity crisis, water, and global human health. So in that spirit, this is what has formed the Sustainability Specialization, and I'll tell you a little bit about it now. So there are two levels with the Sustainability Specialization. In level 1, you are here with us for 2 semesters. This is students in the college transfer or the university transfer certificate program. And during those 2 semesters, if you choose the Sustainability Specialization, you must volunteer as a Green Ambassador with Humber's Office of Sustainability for the 2 semesters, participate in a sustainability training workshop or 2 offered through Humber's Center for Urban Ecology. This is located in the Humber Arboretum. It's a really beautiful outdoor and natural space. Also, you've got to attend a Green Collar Career Workshop and complete one of the eco-themed elective courses from the list that you're looking at right there. So these are the things that you'd have to complete in order to qualify for this add-on Sustainability Specialization Level 1. So let's talk about Level 2. The University Transfer Diploma Program in General Arts and Sciences is 4 semesters long. So for this program, in order to complete the Sustainability Specialization Level 2, you're going to have even more opportunities to learn about sustainability and gain an enhanced recognition. And more specifically, you will volunteer as a Green Ambassador with Humber's award-winning Office of Sustainability for 4 semesters, attend a Green Collar Careers Workshop, participate in the Learning by Leading course. This is offered through Humber's Center for Urban Ecology. And this course actually requires an application, and we can coach you through that. So don't worry about that right now. And the last thing is you must complete 3 eco-themed elective courses like the ones that you're looking at right there. So both level 1 and level 2 of the Sustainability Specialization will expose you to some of those high demand career pathways in the green sector, this important green sector. And in addition, all students who are specializing in sustainability are going to enjoy small class sizes and field trips, eco-themed guest speakers, academic advising, and experiential learning. Plus, of course, you're still going to be meeting the admission requirements and earning transfer credits for all kinds of post-secondary programs. So just to sum it up, the Sustainability Specialization at Humber is a unique pathway learning opportunity. It's unlike any other in the GTA, and it's designed just for students who are passionate about the environment, about social justice, climate crisis, and biodiversity loss. And if this sounds anything like you, then you should definitely come check us out. You can do so by visiting our sustainability specialization website. The link will be in the chats, or you can send us an email, greenpaths@humber.ca. That email address will be up on the slides in a few minutes. And if you have any questions at all, we can answer them right now. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jen. We'll now pass it over to Anne if there's no questions in the chat, but we'll also, as you mentioned, put those email addresses for the greenpaths@humber.ca in the chat function for students to follow up with us with any questions that they may have after this session as well. So we'll turning it over to you, Anne.
Thanks. So as everyone said, my name is Anne Lydon and I am the program coordinator for the Gas Technology Certificate. We've done a lot of work to reshape and reform this program into a really unique opportunity for students. It's offered at the North Campus and it's an 8-month program. We have both our traditional September start and we're also for the first time are going to have a January intake in January 2021. One of the things that makes this program unique is that it gives you the chance to explore a variety of technology programs offered through our Faculty of Applied Science and Technology. And one of the ways we do this is through the elective options. In semester 1, you get to choose an elective that comes from up to 6 different programs. And semester 2, you can take 2 different electives that come from a range of 9 different programs. Alongside taking these electives, you also take the applied psychology course that my colleague Michelle mentioned earlier. The applied psychology course gives you the chance to really explore one of those career paths and work out which program of study would be best for you as you move forward through the technology certificate and onto a future range of programs. As you can see up on the slide, there are a range of different programs you can move on to after the technology certificate. Mechanical engineering, computer networking, heating, refrigeration, air conditioning, HVAC. It's a really popular program. One of the advantages of just the program in general, but also having done those electives, is those electives will often give you transfer credits in the program that you move on to when you move on from the gas department. So for instance, if you went into computer networking, you might have done 2 different courses as your electives, so that you'll take those into the computer networking program and you'll have reduced course load because you already have those credits having completed them with us. We offer the chance to pathway into 30 different programs in the Faculty of Applied Science and Technology, and there's a lot of opportunity for you to explore those, the options, and to see whether you really like them before you make your final decision and move on from gas. The other program that I am the program coordinator for is the Pre-Health Sciences Pathway to Advanced Degrees and Diplomas, which is a long name. We tend to call it Pre-Health Sciences Program, or the Pre-Health Program is the abbreviated version. Like the Tech Program, the Pre-Health Sciences Program is an 8-month full-time program. It's only offered at our North Campus. We only have the 1 September intake for this program. What's really fabulous about the opportunities this program provides is that it really prepares you for a range of different programs in the health sciences. You can move on to traditional Chinese medicine, which is a program that's, I think, almost unique to Humber. You can go into the Bachelor of Workplace Health and Sciences. You can go into paramedics, kinesiology, biotechnology, emergency communications. So there's a wide variety of programs, and that's just a short version of the list, a wide variety of programs that you can move on to from the Pre-Health Sciences pathway. The 2 most popular programs that students want to go into from the Pre-Health Science program are the Bachelor of Nursing program and the Practical Nursing program. At Humber, we have pathway agreements for our pre-health students that enable you to know how it is you can get into those programs from the Pre-Health Science program. And some of the details are going to come up onto the slide. If you want to apply to the Bachelor of Nursing program, there are certain criteria that you have to meet. The key criteria are that you have to have a 75% grade in all of the courses listed there, and you have to have a 75% grade point average overall in the program. If you want to go into the practical nursing program, then looking at those same classes, you have to have a 70% average in each of those courses and a 70% GPA for the program as a whole. One of the ways we help you get there is by having excellent faculty, a lot of experiential learning and small classes. And in those classes, we give you the chance to get some lab experience in the lab. So you get hands-on experience with chemicals, with the instrumentation, guided by, faculty with experience in the lab. The students really find it a valuable addition to the pre-health science program. And it's one of the things that makes Humber's pre-health science program really unique. Our partners in this in these pathways, one of our key partners is the University of New Brunswick. They're our partner in our collaborative Bachelor of Nursing program. So the Bachelor of Nursing program is run at Humber, but it is a degree that you would get from the University of New Brunswick. Another key partner is the Health Sciences with their practical nursing program, and the other health and science and wellness programs that you can pathway into once you have successfully completed the pre-health science pathway. Now I'm going to hand it back to my Associate Dean, April Dawn.
Thanks, Anne. I'd also like to thank Jen and Michelle for sharing the highlights of our college transfer, university transfer, or degree transfer program opportunities here at Humber. And this is new sustainability specialization, as Jen mentioned, which is unique and one of a kind in the GTA, now focusing on opportunities in education and careers to address some of the world's global problems and learning about what those opportunities are through the specialization in sustainability. And then thanks so much, Anne, for going through our technology program and the uniqueness of it as well, and the fact that students have an opportunity to explore courses and have the option to explore courses in up to 9 programs, but 2 courses, so that they get to really test out what they're interested in before moving fully into a full-time program in the technology, trades, and IT area. And of course, the most popular now on the slide as well is just a visual chart of some of the information that my colleagues were sharing around the examples of Humber pathways. So here we have where Anne just left off, the 1 year at Humber for the pre-health, and then moving into that 4-year registered nursing degree. I am really pleased to share that recently the ministers have changed, and now colleges will be allowed to offer degrees. So we hope to have a degree at Humber as well, but continue our relationship with the University of New Brunswick for that 4-year registered nursing degree as well. And then here, the next on the slide related to the college and university transfer certificates is that 2-year diploma at Humber, or going into an alternative 4-year degree at one of our local partners, or more if you're looking to go broader field with other options, both in Canada through Bishop's University or the Vancouver Island University. Each of those pathways has a number of options for students to potentially save time or money in their studies as they improve their grade point average and their post-secondary study skills that they need to have as well. So I do have on the slide here the other general arts and science diploma programs and how that pathways, as Michelle alluded to, related into York University, Bishop's, and UTM. So just moving on to the last portion, we've just got a few more minutes left in our time this afternoon to take any questions or answers, or hopefully we'll be providing the answers, but any questions from folks that may be posting information in the chat line. If not, then we'll just pause here and thank everyone for attending. So colleagues, do we have any questions in the chat that we need to answer at this point in time?
Michelle has answered one question from someone who's pre-health question. Do I have to register for certain classes, or are all mandatory classes selected for you? I do not have a background in biochem whatsoever, but I'm interested in learning. Do you recommend I learn certain information prior to the course? And Michelle has given some good links down there, but we also understand that when students come into the pre-health science pathway, that they haven't had extensive background in bio or chemistry or math. And so the courses are designed to prepare you for programs where you move into intense study in bio and chemistry. So you don't have to have a background in them at all.
That's great.
Just to answer
Thanks.
that question.
Yeah, thanks so much, Anne and Michelle. Yeah, that's often a question that we do receive related to whether or not those prior studies, and that's where the benefits of the lab connection and being able to work on, you know, up to 5 different experiments in biology in first semester, 5 different experiments in chemistry in first semester, and then also having lab time in your second semester for biology and chem and physics if you elect to take physics. So it really does help prepare students for those future studies, as you've said. I'll pause there. We're almost at our 2 o'clock time. Or according to my clock, we are at the 2 o'clock time. Are there any other questions in the chat function that we should pause and answer before we sign off today?
No, there are no more questions.
Wonderful. Okay, well, thanks so much to my colleagues who are both here helping me with the presentation today and behind the scenes working with us to coordinate all of the different information sessions for the Faculty of Liberal Arts and Sciences and Innovative Learning here at Humber College. We thank you so much for participating in our virtual information sessions today. Please do reach out to us if you have any questions that we'd be happy to answer either through the admissions@humber.ca emails or specific program information emails that are listed on our website at humber.ca. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care. We wish you well, and thank you so much for stopping in at Humber today.